Hi, and thank you for joining us. I'm Rick Titus, and this is the Robinson Restoration and Service website and YouTube video. This is from the newsroom, and a lot going on, a lot to share with you. Been a busy time, but let's just start out with the opening reality of, guess what? Dallas, Texas, and Denton, where Robinson Restoration and Service is actually based, is right outside of Dallas. Dallas has had a really rough season, weather-wise. Holy mackerel. And I was just looking, because I'm getting ready to go down to Denton in just a couple of weeks. More hail, more rain, more flooding. Holy mackerel. You guys, I don't know what's going on, but maybe we should all tighten up our relationship with a higher power. So a lot going on. You folks down there in Denton and Dallas, please hang in there. And that, of course, the tornadoes lead all the way up through the Midwest and the plains, and just, wow, sad stuff. Very rugged. So what have we been up to? Well, three things. We've talked to you a little bit about going to Fabulous Fords Forever, which, if you're on the West Coast, and in particular Southern California, that's an event you may want to consider looking into attending next year. It's always in April, and put on by Ford Motor Company. And if you're a fan of Fords, wow, bring binoculars, because for as far as you can see, and all lined out or laid out by category. So early Ford pickups, and of course the Broncos and the Pinos and the Mustangs and the Fairmonts, and everything is laid out according to its model. So it makes it very organized to go through. You get to see a lot. And of course now there's a lot more vendors at it too. So you won't be bored, I promise you. For a one-day event, you got a lot to take in. We just attended an event at a location that was a bit of a nasty drive for me, because I did it as a turnaround. That was over in Irvine, California. That was a 10-hour driving day plus a 4.5, 5-hour event. But we ended up kind of emceeing. I don't want to oversell that term, because we're kind of working as a collective. But we oversaw this event celebrating the 60th birthday of Mustang. There were paid attendees. A lot of people wanted to continue to celebrate that history. A lot of VIP guests. We did this at the Segerson Shelby Event Center, which, wow, what a nice facility in Irvine. Segerson Shelby Event Center. And so it obviously has a very strong Ford and Cobra Shelby bent to it, but great collection of cars you just, even as an enthusiast attending events, don't often get to see. Great memorabilia, perfect presentation, and now I've learned they're even holding weddings there, and they got dressing rooms and a bar, all of that kind of stuff that goes with with weddings and different types of events. In fact, the Orange County Cobra Owners Club next month is actually meeting there for their 50th, I apologize, 50th anniversary of that club being formed. And on the topic of 50th, I'll be coming to just outside of Tulsa at Claremore, Oklahoma, and then on up to Hallett and then back down to Claremore for the 50th event for the Mid-America Shelby and High Performance Ford event, which is going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be especially fun for me, because I get to see a lot of people I haven't seen for a while. And I love going to that event. I love people from Oklahoma. They're just so down to earth. Oklahoma and Texas are just so friendly. Then going up to Hallett, which is a really neat little race course. And I'm going to be driving in an exhibition race, a replica of the Carroll Shelby Daytona Coupe Cobra, designed by my friend Pete Brock. A lot of people get to say my friend, because he's so friendly to so many people, but very proud of Pete and his accomplishments. Well, Daytona Coupe went on to win the World Manufacturer's title, 1965, I believe. Car was very advanced and inspired some other designs that looked an awful lot like it. So I'll be driving one of those, and that's a Factory 5 car. That's a replica sold in kit form from Factory 5, and the reason I'm doing it is because Robinson is now taking those projects on. So if a person wants to buy, if you look at Factory 5 stuff, they've got you know, a replica of the Cobra, not called Cobra, but you can tell what it is. They got a pretty wicked Model A type pickup truck, and it might be later than Model A. And of course, they've got a project that looks an awful lot like a Ford GT, but maybe extrapolated out a little further. And then, of course, you know, the Daytona Coupe, which I'll be driving. Just and quality stuff. I mean, if Mr. Smith wasn't doing these projects, I probably wouldn't be too quick to get in them. But the engineering is really well done. The manufacturing is well done. So I look forward to driving this car that does vintage race from time to time. So I look forward to getting in there and having a go with that. And we'll film all that and share with it so you can see what went on there. You see me wearing some merchandise. And of course, Robinson Restoration and Service is about to add more merchandise on their online site and at their store right there in Denton. And of course, that'll include even carrying the Carroll Shelby original team type shirts and jackets. That's what this is. And to give you an idea how serious this is, it's actually been serial numbered with a brass tag. But they got the jackets, everything from that period that if you were following Cobras and Carroll Shelby and international racing, not to mention national racing right here in the U.S. with the GT350 Shelby Mustang, to the Cobras, which just dominated when they came out. The Ford GTs, which they took over that program, and it went from couldn't win one to winning everything. So typical of the magic that was Carroll Shelby and Shelby American. So in any event, a lot of this original, when you go on the site, you'll see it. This is OVC merchandise that Robinson will be handling in the future. Plus, they're getting some new stuff for themselves as well, and things I'm kind of excited about because they do so much great work there that I think there's things they ought to be celebrating, including some of their customers who really have some astonishing projects and cars. Cobras come to mind, Ford GT comes to mind. A couple of really good hot rods, cars worth knowing about. Of course, and then there is the project race cars that they're doing. Tracy Robinson and Shelley, his bride, have a thing for the Dodge products for vintage racing back in the 60s. And of course, the other portion of the team is Greg Reynolds, who I've worked with on a number of projects, up to and including Shogun. Races a vintage Fords now. He's got a big production original 289 powered Shelby Mustang, 67. And he's just finishing up through Robinson his 66 notchback Mustang. So kind of cool. So that's a full-on vintage race car as well. And I might even get a few laps in that thing from time to time. So selfishly, I look forward to being done. But we just sort of know the history of the car, and we're big fans of that. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. We hopefully can bring you more and more information. And we are going to start filming at events now. We just needed to get going. This is only, show 5 or 6 for us. So hang in, be safe. We wish you open roads and safe motoring.